Across the Canadian forest, the group of high school boys were on the verge of a mental breakdown. They had just spotted a DEA van stalking them in the woods, because inside these kids' backpacks was over 400 pounds of weed. You see, these weren't your average high schoolers.
400 pounds of weed in 5 backpacks? Dude, that's heavy as shit.
These kids had a smuggling empire that had brought in 17,000 pounds of weed, and their parents would kill them if they ever found out. Undetected, the boys'
parents would kill them? 500 pounds of weed? You're gonna get thrown in federal prison. That is like an obscene amount of marijuana.
Dropped to the floor to find a way around it. But Nate Norman, the leader of the group, shushed the others and flicked his night vision goggles to get a closer look and began smirking at what he saw. These DEA agents they were so afraid of that could end everything that night were asleep in their van this entire time. And as the boys snuck by and made it home safely that night, Nate Norman, the leader of the group, had just made the easiest money he'd ever made in his life, $500,000.
In high school, for bringing a backpack of weed over, bro made $500,000 in cash. How do you money launder that? You're in high school. You can't money launder $500,000.
2001, 2 rival groups of high school nerds became the biggest drug smugglers in the United States. Evading the DEA, FBI, and Border Patrol for years, they had smuggled in 17,000 pounds of weed, making $32 million. But through jealousy, betrayals, and shady deals, their empires would fall apart before any of them could legally drink. This is the true story of the nerdy teens who became drug kingpins. Now, Nate Norman wasn't exactly a criminal mastermind. As a broke 19-year-old high school dropout working at Pizza Hut living in his mom's basement in Idaho, the closest he'd ever gotten to organized crime was watching Scarface on cable. Because with no degree and a dead-end job...
Yeah, how do you get into that? How do you say one day you're just sitting there and you're like, I want to smuggle weed for money. That's not doing anything, right? Like there's a moment where I feel like the opportunity has to arrive or arise before you actually say, I'm going to do this, right? Because you're not just sitting there like, I'm going to start selling drugs. You can't just decide that, right? Like if you're sitting in your house and you're like, I want to sell meth. I'm going to sell meth. What do you do? That's not like a career option. You're probably like given the option and then you decide to do it rather than deciding you want to do it before you're given the option.
The American dream felt so far away for Nate Norman. Changed one day when Nate and his buddy Topher were smoking a J, flipping through Times magazine, and stumbled across a story that would change their lives forever.